Y'all know the drill. Get you a drink, get you a snack. I'm doing some spiked punch today. I really only have a little bit of vodka left. And that's sad. I was gonna not drink, but you know, we have a problem. You ready for this? It's me, Kelly. Bitch. Hi. So I'm doing another 90 Day Fiance recap today. Lately it's been dry as hell. I'm gonna try and get through this without it being too boring. It is 6:30 right now. I want to be done by 7 so I can have it edited and uploaded by 8 or hopefully 9 or something like that. I am starting a new routine which involves me getting up early as fuck. So stay tuned for that. Definitely gonna do a video and take advantage of that, but yeah. So I guess let's get into it. I have nothing else to say besides cheers. Let's go. This cup is like as big as me and I'm pretty big. This is season 9 episode 4, Pasta La Vista. These episode titles are so fucking stupid. I would just rather if they just called it season 9 episode 4 and leave it at that. But okay, so here's the description. Kobe is overwhelmed with emotions when he meets his son. Bini and Ari have a tense departure from Ethiopia. Jibri and Miona attempt to prepare a meal for his parents. And Thea's thesis is no fan of Patrick's brother John. So that's basically what their description says. And if you even like read the description, you're like, okay, why am I watching this? This is just day-to-day activities. It's so boring. It is so boring. It is so boring. But I committed to this and we're gonna just keep going and hopefully it gets more interesting. I think that the last season definitely was a slow burn of the other way. So hopefully this is the case. These people are just like average, I guess you could say. The Americans are very average. The foreign people are very average. Like, it's just really nothing exciting. If you go to any town, you will find people just like these people, you know, and they're not on TV. This cast is not doing it for me. And these are the worst Americans you could possibly find. I wish my girl Eve was here, man. I love Eve. Eve, come back, bitch. So I'm just gonna go in order of the couples. So this doesn't seem right, but I guess we started with Bini and Ari. So they're getting ready to go to the United States. Okay, this is funny. So basically, Ari has like a nanny named Mimi, not to be confused with Bini's sister Mimi. They have the same name, no relation. Anyways, she's like getting ready to leave and she's like, Mimi, braid my hair. I'm like, bitch, she's not your servant. But I was like, I don't know, because she's like, this is my nanny and my best friend. I was like, she's probably not your best friend, but if you think about it, if it's her only friend, technically it's her best friend. So I guess that's true. And I was like, she probably don't even like her. But whenever they were leaving for the airport, like Mimi was crying, saying goodbye. So I guess they really do care about each other. Yeah. So that's what's happening. They're getting ready to leave. William still doesn't know. He's like, I really don't want to go. He's like thinking about it and like he has to say goodbye to his family and he's really upset and it's like really understandable. And so that's the whole thing. And then they're gonna have lunch with Vinny's like siblings and Ari's like, yeah, no, I'm not going. It's like a goodbye lunch or whatever. And honestly, I don't think she should. It sounds like a bad idea and they already have beef with her, so that would just be like not a good time. So I think it's good that she stayed back. Like, they don't like her. They threw like a drink in her face, right? So why is she just gonna go, you know, say goodbye? Like, I feel like that would just not be good. So I mean, I support her decision not to go. And he's like, I just wish you would come. It's like, why? So she can get at it with her sisters again? Like, no, like she made the right decision there, I think. So anyways, they have the like lunch or whatever, and they're discussing like him leaving, and they're like, we don't like that you're doing this, it sounds like a horrible idea, but we do support you, which is nice. It's not like one of those situations where the people are like, I will never talk to you again because you're doing something I don't agree with, you know. Like I hate people like that who like they'll support you unless you do something they don't like, and then they're like, fuck it. And I feel like there's an argument to that. It's like, you shouldn't support someone if they're doing something wrong. But it's like, who's to say what's right? Who's to say what's wrong? Just because you think something wrong doesn't mean it is wrong. So, I don't know. A little personal there. But yeah, them saying that, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, they're doing that whole thing. Ari's staying back at home. And then, honestly, not a lot happens. But then it's time to go. Oh, and then one of Vinny's sisters said that like he can take this opportunity in America to find his other son. If you forgot, this whole thing happened. So Vinny met an American, had sex, conceived a child was born, it was a son, and the mother of his child just like went to America with his kid and never came back and never let him see him again. So that was sad. But they're saying like he can track him down and find him, and I thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Make the most of things. So that's what they're saying. And then they leave, they get in a bus, and it takes them to the airport, and they go, and the whole family like meets them like at the airport to say goodbye. But they're like, we don't want to see Ari, we don't want to see Ari. And it's like, okay, it makes sense because she didn't want to say goodbye at the lunch. So, like, why are they going to go see her anyways? And yeah, but Ari's like, that's rude. And it is kind of rude to blatantly say, like, we're not going to see her and, like, get her away. You know, like, that's a little dramatic and childish, but, like, whatever. I don't see her being that mature because they're like, we want to say goodbye to Avi, we want to say goodbye to baby, like, whatever. And Ari's like, no, it's cold outside, I'm not getting out of the bus. And honestly, I have mixed feelings because that is their nephew, but at the same time, they like threw a drink in her face. So why does she want them to see her child? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It is what it is. I am excited to see what happens when they go to America. Ari's film is a lot. I don't think this is going to be a good time for Biniam, but it might be. You know, he might find his other kid. He might get a job he likes eventually after the 90 days, as they love to tell us. And I don't know. But her family is a lot, and they're not, like, the nicest to him. So that sucks. And they are going to New Jersey. I don't know where in New Jersey she lives, so it could be nice, like, closer to New York. Like, that's pretty nice because it's, like, a city. But, we'll see. You know, like, I don't have the highest hopes for them, but I hope it works out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see. But moving on, I'm definitely gonna need to come up with a new place to like film soon, because me sitting on the floor like in my kitchen, like it literally looks like I'm being held hostage and like forced to film this video, which is definitely not the case, and that would be very weird. But let's move on to Emily and Kobe. I really don't like them, and I don't know if it's because Emily is like my genre person. I'm cooler than her, right? I'm definitely more self-aware and considerate, but yikes. But anyways, the music choice is so weird. Like, I hate like the random like fucking royalty-free music that they be playing in these episodes. It's so annoying when they go meet people, but whatever. It was like fucking knockoff Zara Larson or some shit. And fuck Zara, by the way. Like, she's mean to my man, Matt Kearney. So, I don't like her. But that's neither here nor there. They're going home to her house. But first, they're like waking up. They need to make a big point about them waking up after like the first night together, like in the hotel. And it's like, honestly, fuck off. Like, fuck off. Like, I don't need to see this. Like, I know they had sex. Like, they told us. They made it pretty clear, or at least she made it pretty clear, like, that is the mission. But she wants us to know. Like, it's, oh my god. make it stop, for real. But yeah, they wake up in the hotel and he's like, oh my god, I love this is America, like whatever. And I'm like, he is in for a rude awakening, my dear. Like when you actually go to her house in the middle of nowhere, it's gonna be interesting. But they wake up and she's like, we did it in the shower and then we did it in the bed twice this morning. I'm like, great. Like, go for you. And she's like, he likes my new body. It's like, okay, yeah, good. But she just really wanted us to know that. And also, shower sex is so fucking overrated. I think I've only done it once, but I definitely fell out of the shower and almost died. That's not how I want to die. So I don't know what she's doing. But they did that, and then they finally get in the car, and he's like, yes, it was worth it. So she has good pussy, I guess. I don't know. But he's wearing this cute, like, black jacket with, like, NASA on it. And, like, he's cute. And they're gonna go see him. I was a little annoyed that he's like, it's worth it, though. Because I was like, is it really? Like, she was in the wrong. She was in the wrong. But they go to the house. And she got the horses in the back, man. Like, she literally is a horse girl. They live on, like, a fucking ranch. But you know her parents be having money, though, because it's not cheap to have land like that. So I can see why she would mooch off of them, because she can. So, yeah. And then it says, welcome, Kobe. And that was really cute, though, actually. I think her mom put it up. And then they go in the house, and they see her sim-ass looking parents. They look like Sims. Like, they look like pre-made Sims. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then she goes and they go, oh, before, Kobe was like crying in the car because he's like excited to see his kid. And like, that's nice. Like, he really does care. Like, he's not some kind of like deadbeat dad. Like, he does give a fuck about his child. So that's nice. And I bet that is fucking crazy to meet a kid you never met before. I'm like a woman, so that'll never fucking happen to me, but that's nice. You know, I can like imagine it in my head in an alternate universe where I am a man and I fuck a woman, she has a kid in another country, and 2 years later I go meet them. I would be emotional too. So, and then her parents are being weird as fuck, I will say that. Like, they're just like kind of sitting there and like, or standing there and like staring at them while this whole thing is going down, and she's trying to show him the baby, but it's a fucking baby and he doesn't know him, so he's being all shy, doesn't want to say hello, how are you, like he just wants to like, you know, dodge it, and like that's kind of sad, but it is what it is, you know, like he will warm up to him eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, and then yeah, the parents are just standing there watching, and he's like crying, and then the sister or the friend comes in. I didn't catch who she is, but she made things better for sure, because she actually knows how to have a conversation and be a human being. So that was nice. She's like, oh my god, it's good to meet you, like blah blah blah. Like, she was making polite ass conversation, and so that was nice. And then that's all we saw, I think. Let me check my notes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just hate how these people go, and this is the same with like Jibri and Miona, like it's the same, like it's so annoying how they like put these people like on probation, like when they come to the United States, like they don't give them the benefit of the doubt, like they're just waiting for them to fuck up, and like I hate that. They're like but I don't know, it's like okay, but it's like, just like be nice and like give these people a benefit of the doubt, and if you don't know, keep it to yourself. And if it doesn't work out, be like, yeah, fuck him, I never liked him anyways. But like, keep that shit to yourself, right? Keep it to yourself, be nice, say hello, you know, be welcoming. Like, the welcome banner was very nice, but it's like, you gotta do a little bit more than that, you know? Like, I just don't agree with a lot of these people's families, but I do hate that he is like gonna have to stay at their house. Like, she should have found a way to get her own house. She had 2 fucking years. Like, that's all I have to say about that. These bitches be stupid. On to the next. Moving on, we have Patrick and Thesis. And Patrick is from Texas, he's 31. This is a new couple that they just randomly threw it. I asked, why are they doing this? Like, I'm already keeping up with your other 50 boring people. Like, why are you just giving us more for no reason? Like, just give us quality, don't give us quantity. Like, I would watch 2 fucking people, 1 couple, if they were interesting. Because I've been watching Chantel and Pedro, 90-Day Journey, like, when I'm bored. And, like, it's interesting. Like, it fucking holds me over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already seen it when it was part of the show. But even watching it alone is fine because they're interesting. But, like, these people aren't interesting. Anyways, we have Patrick and Thesis. Patrick is a gym bro. And he's like, pain is the weakness leaving your body. Like, okay, Instagram. And he says that he has to be stronger than everybody else. It's like, okay, why? Hercules. He says he's the strongest man in the country, or like one of the strongest men in the country. And it's like, according to who? You know, like, also I heard that he actually fought a family of bears. And like, sorry for the bears, he won. He also lifted the White House with his pinky toe. So he was pretty cool, I guess. And he said that he was gonna go to the Olympics, but he tested positive for fucking human growth hormone, steroids, or whatever. He acted like it was like a fucking STD or something that he caught. Bitch, tested positive. You did fucking drugs. You know? I've done drugs. I had a fucking addiction. But you gotta own that shit. Own it. It's not like, oh, I tested positive. It's like the lady who said to the officer that the cocaine flew into her purse because it was windy. Like, it's just like, what the fuck at this point? And yeah. But then he has a brother. Oh, his name isn't Patrick. His name's Patrick? No, he's Patrick and his brother's name is John. So his brother named John like comes around and he has this ridiculous Massachusetts accent. And they were like, oh, no. He has the accent because he's older and he lived in Massachusetts longer than Patrick did. And then they had like moved somewhere else. But it's like, why does he have that accent? You know, like, how much older is he than Patrick? I keep forgetting his name than Patrick. But oh well, like, we'll move on from that. He just has this ridiculous accent. But I don't know though, because my dad's from Louisiana and he still has a southern accent, even though like he's lived up north for so many years, like at least 30, 40 years. So I don't know, maybe accents do stay with you. It's so weird, but yeah. But this man didn't do anything to me, so I'll let him live his life. But yeah. And then he's talking about how he didn't get enough attention in his childhood. His mom is bipolar and does drugs. And it's like, don't put your mom on blast like that. You know, like, she did her fucking best. Because everybody's out here doing their best. Just let her be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when, like, on these shows, like, they throw out, like, their family members, like, mental illness. It's just not okay for me. Like, as someone with mental illness, I wouldn't like my brother or something to go on TV and be like, yeah, it was hard growing up because my sister is bipolar. Like, no! Like, stop. It's fine. Like, let's go on. Like, I know that probably was hard and she probably was untreated and everything, but it's like, I feel like shit like that you just keep quiet about, because I know for a goddamn fact that he didn't go to his mom and say, hey mom, I'm going on a show, is it okay if I make you look really bad? Like, even if she was like really checked out or whatever, she's mentally ill, you know. Let's not do this. We meet Thesis and she's from Brazil. She's cute or whatever, but he says she's the hottest woman in the world, so I guess he met his match, strongest man in the world and hottest woman in the world. Like, let's go. So there's that. And she's cool. She's from Brazil. He met her on a trip because his dad is Brazilian, and so he went to Brazil to retire. So that's how he met her. And then he proposed after like 11 months, and he's saying that she's the first woman who really showed me love. My ex never did that. Don't bring your ex into the equation. Like, you can, in your head, like, I think it's good to, you know, see, like, what did you learn from the different people you dated? What do you like? What do you don't like? What was wrong? What was right? But comparing them is, like, it's different. Like, it's a different person. Like, you can't compare them. So it's so annoying. And he's doing the whole song and dance. And, yeah. But a good thing about him, though, is that he did learn the language so that he can talk to her. They're having a full-on conversation. I think he can speak to her and communicate pretty well. And she doesn't know a whole lot of English, so that's why. He's at his house, FaceTiming her, and he has a pretty nice house. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, he has a nice, I'm gonna have a hot take here, but his house is as nice as Bilal's. And he's not out here like, oh, she can't see my house, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just looks like a nice suburban motherfucking house. Like, it's fine. It's like, this is what people live. This is what they look like. Like, it's fine. And they both live, like, in the South where shit's cheap. So it's like, it's fine. It's really fine. But yeah. But here's the situation, is that he lives with his brother John. Like, John lives in the house with him. Even though he can pay his bills, John can pay his bills too. Like, they work together. Like, it really seems like these guys are a little bit codependent on each other. It might be because they did have a hard time growing up, which is fine, but don't broadcast it on TV. And they really had to rely on each other, which is fine. Also, I do think that John is quite a bit older, so he might have been, like, more of a father figure for him. I'm reaching, but that's kind of what it seems like. So I guess it is what it is, but, like, do they really have to live with each other? No, probably not. But yeah, he says that he's scared that they won't be as close, so they don't live together. Yeah, that's codependency right there. So I took one psychology class, so I obviously know that. I also took sociology, and I took a corrections class, so I can say that. Codependency. He's FaceTiming, and then John comes in. Our friend John is drunk, and he's talking to her and everything, and she's like, no, he has got to go. And even though I did say that it's kind of weird that he lives there and that, like, he should leave, she can't say that, though. See, I'm saying this from an outsider's perspective, and I'm not trying to move into the house, but she is. And it's like, this is still his house, you know, like, have your opinion, but if you're moving in, you're moving in, and, like, he's gonna be there because this is his house too. But she's saying, like, no, it's gotta go, like, this is my house now. It's like, bitch, sit your ass down in the house that isn't yours and be nice. So I didn't like that about her, but I don't like him either, so I really just don't like either of them. Like, it's really, like, Corey and Elvin, like, the way they are, it's so, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? And then they're talking about how, like, she wants his location on, from my perspective. Like, I can only speak from my own perspective, that's why I'm, like, giving my input, but I did want, like, my ex to have his location on, and I probably will in the future with people I date. The reason for that is that sometimes, like, they are at work, so, like, I don't want to text them if they're at work, or they're at their friends, so I don't want to, you know, like, when they're with their friends, they don't need a million texts from me, but, like, I can see, like, oh, that's where they're at. Or if they don't text me back, you know, instead of, like, being all insecure and, like, oh, he's with another bitch, I can literally look up my phone and see that he's at work, and, like, that's fine, you know? I never really checked it unless I was, like, wondering, like, where he was and if we could hang out, because then it just makes it easier. Like, I don't have to go through the trouble of saying, hey, I want to hang out, and then him not responding for, like, an hour or 2 or 3, and I'm like, why didn't he respond? He doesn't want to hang out with me. Into that, I can just see he's at work. I know it'd be fine to say, hey, where are you at, like, whatever, and he'll say I'm at work, and I will trust that, but it was just easier to have a location on. I don't know. It's just because you don't have to have a whole back and forth. Like, we're both busy. I hate texting. That was my reason for that. I never went on and saw, like, oh, he's at someone's house. Whose house is he on? Like, I never did that. He also never went anywhere. But yeah, even with my friends, I like to have their location on. Like, my roommate, hey girl, I always knew when she was coming home because I had location, or I knew, you know, it's just kind of nice. I don't know. It's just like, ew, where the fuck are you? Oh, that's where the fuck you are. Okay. But I use it more from like a social like standpoint. Like, I just don't want to waste my time asking them to hang out, you know, or whatever the case may be. I think in her case, however, it might be that she's stalking, like, who the fuck cares, because like she doesn't live there and like it's not an option to hang out or whatever. But I don't know, it's nice to have for safety purposes too. So with the like location thing, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. The only problem is that if they do be stalking it and asking like, where are you, why are you there, like all that. But if it's just like a passive thing, like, oh yeah, that's on the location, like I can check if I need to, I think that's fine. But yeah, but then another thing was that she was upset when he was working with like a female coworker. That is weird because it's like, you be working with people of all genders, you can't control it. So like, just let him do his thing. And like, guys and girls, like, it's not like I see a man and I want to jump him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. So that was a lot, but I would just play it cool if I was him and be like, oh yeah, I have my location, like whatever, and then see where it goes from there, because just the location is harmless. I don't know, but that's kind of how it is. We'll see where this goes. It doesn't look good, but we'll see. And we got Febreze and Moana. So they're at his parents' house. Another person who lives with a parent. None of them live alone. Listen, none of them live by themselves except for Ari and Bini, but they might be moving in with a family. Who's to say? Pixar and her son, who we're gonna talk about next, and Bilal. But everybody else is like with their family, or you know, his brother, or has a roommate, and it's just like, why? These guys need to understand that when you sign a lease with somebody, like, or it's your parents, like, they agreed to live with you. They didn't agree to live with your partner. So it's just like, be fucking considerate. Like, that's what I meant earlier. Like, just be considerate. Like, understand that, like, the living situation, it's like, when you go home, like, that's supposed to be like your fucking happy place. Like, work is work. Even if you like your job, I happen to love my job, like, it's draining, like, it's work, it's hard, and like, you have to go home and retreat and re-energize. And you don't want someone you don't know in your space, or someone you don't like, or someone you didn't want to be there. Like, it's just not fair. So I really feel for these families, and they have cameras in here. It's like, be considerate. Like, that's all I ask. But they're at his parents' house, and like, his mom had asked them to cook a meal. When she said cook a meal, I was like, lady, come on now. But yeah, like, also, let me bring in my whole life story to judging these people. When I have been with my family in my 20s, I just bought all my own groceries and like cooked whatever I wanted. Like, we never had like a whole family dinner. Like, we did kind of like on Sundays or whatever, but besides that, like, everyone just bought their own groceries and like did their own thing. So that's kind of what we did and what worked out. But apparently she wants everybody to cook meals for each other. I guess you save on time and dishes, but everyone has different schedules, you know what I'm saying? And everyone has different things that they like and don't like, so why are we doing this? But anyways, she has them cook dinner for them, and they go to the grocery store. I thought it was kind of cute when they were going to the grocery store, because she didn't really know much about like Americans and what we eat, and we eat like trash. But oh well, she was saying even the fruit is weird. Like, we have wax in our apples, and like, I don't really think about that. Like, I just buy an apple. Like, oh well. But yeah, it must be better in other countries though, I'm not gonna lie. But like, it is what it is at this point. And they're in the frozen aisle, and she's like, I want to try corn dogs. And he's like, nah, girl, just let her try the corn dogs. But they get like a frozen meal, and she never like really seen that before, like how much frozen meals we have. But they get it because it's convenient, and they cook it for his parents, and their parents eat it, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Who cares? You ask for a meal, you're gonna get a meal. Like, I've ate that shit before. Is it the best? No. But is it fine? It's fine, you know? And you ask for a meal, you got a meal. And that's kind of what Moana's, like, standpoint was. She's like, well, at least I know what to expect now. And she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she never done laundry before. It's like, I do judge those people because I'm an independent person and I've been doing that shit. And when people my age don't, it is kind of like a what the fuck moment. But honestly, a girl, live your life because it's not fun. So, I mean, good for her. But she's gonna have to get used to it because obviously that's what his parents want. And I think it's fine. So, that was kind of their whole thing. And then So, he's talking about how he's trying to get the band back together and, like, get with David and make music. And she hates David because, I don't know, they just hate each other. And I'm trying to think of it. Febreze was saying that he and David are like fucking blood brothers. Like, this is fucking godfather because he went and got baptized in Serbia, and like they mix their hair together. And like, if one of them dies, they have to take care of the other's child. It's like, it's honestly what the fuck. Like, me and Elena are pretty close. It's my best friend. If you know me, you know her. But we don't do shit like that. So, very over the top. And that was his reasoning of why he has to make this mixtape. And why Miona needs to shut the fuck up about it. So, good luck. And then she's talking about her fucking makeup brand. It's like, girl, if your makeup brand didn't happen yet, it's probably not gonna happen because you're obviously not that passionate about it. You know, if you really want something, you make it happen, and she hasn't made it happen. So it's like, girl, why don't you just start where you're at, bloom where you're planted, you know? So she really was wanting to be in South Dakota, and girl, I feel you, but this is where you're at, and you should have, you know, agreed before you came that you weren't gonna stay there, but you are gonna stay there. So I don't know, it is what it is. Good luck to them. I hope it works out. Okay, so now we have Pixar and Sun. You know who I'm talking about. They are back in the United States. They have their own place, which is nice. It looks decent. And they're talking about their first night together, which is like, again, I don't even know about this shit, but okay. So they're talking about all that, and Guillermo's like an yeehaw boy. Like, he's talking about how he likes the southern accent, and he's like, Alabama, because he had seen this like duck hunting show where they had talk like that, which was really funny, and it was set in Alabama. So it's like, okay, boy, like, okay, like, you know, that's good. Like, at least you like it, you know, like, you're here, so at least you're embracing that. But that's pretty much it. Like, nothing really happened except for he said he wants a computer, and she said, no, you're not getting that. So that sucks, but that's who you're dating. If she's gonna treat you like a child, she's gonna treat you like a child. That's probably a problem, but it's a problem for another day. And it's not my problem. Okay, I'm making this quick because I didn't reach my goal. Like, it's 7:20 and I wanted to be done by 7, so. But nothing happened with Bilal and Shaida. Like, they just went to his mom's house for dinner, and she was like grilling them, and she was saying that, like, hey, Shaida, you want kids, like, whatever? And she's like, yeah, I want kids, blah. And then Bilal's like, well, kids are a responsibility. It's like this woman is like damn near 40 years old. Of course she knows that, but okay. And she's talking about like how she wants kids and he doesn't. But he doesn't give a clear answer. See, that's the problem. He's like, well, kids are a lot of work. Well, I already made 2. Well, it's like, if you are so gung-ho against it, just say no. And then if that's a deal breaker for Shia, it's a deal breaker for Shia and she won't be with you. But like, you have to give an answer or she'll settle. I don't know. But like, they should have discussed this beforehand, and I'm sure they did when he's been loosey-goosey. Like, that's the only explanation I can come up with. So, but I hate when people ask other people, like, if they're gonna have kids or when are you gonna have kids. Because it's like, you don't know the deal. You don't know if, like, they've tried or they had problems or they lost one. Like, you don't fucking know, so, like, don't fucking ask that question. This is a PSA. And that's all that happened there. But, oh well. You guys know I don't like him, so I don't want to talk too much about him. That's just how that one's gonna go. But, yeah. It's always so dramatic drinking on the video because it's like a statement, but it's like, if I just randomly drink in the middle of it, it'd be weird because I'm the only one talking. So it has to be a pause. But yeah, so that's the couples this week. I thought it was not that interesting. I really had high hopes, but I think that everything interesting in the preview already happened, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is, and I'm gonna keep making these videos until there's no more episodes left of this whole franchise. So for the rest of my life, and hopefully it gets more interesting at some point. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody who's been subscribing and liking. And even though I only got like 100 views, like that's 5 times more than I used to get. Like, I've been making these videos just for fun, just for the fuck of it. But when people watch it, it's like nice and it does make my day. So thank you. Keep watching, subscribe, thumbs up, follow me on my socials, and I will see you next week. Bye.